Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we are revisiting the Lynch clip. All right, this is from Lynch Northwest. All right, I showed this in a previous video. I had this pocket clip on a mini Griptilian, and I carried it and I used it and everything. And although it carried fairly well, I did like it. I did not like how it felt in my hand. It just created a pretty big hot spot. Now, I got a lot of comments on that. A lot of people do still very much like carrying aftermarket deep concealed pocket clips. There's just a certain number of knives out there that people just don't like the factory clip. Okay, so people prefer it. But there's obviously a few different types of styles and different brands and such. What I decided to do was put this on a full-size knife, all right, and just to stay with the theme, I threw it on a large Griptilian, all right, or a full-size Benchmade Griptilian. This one is kind of a Franken grip. I actually gave this to my wife when we were dating. This has an orange handle, obviously. Originally had a satin, I think it was a drop point in 154 cm, and I swapped this with a Cabela's Edition Griptilian, which was the black coated D2 blade with the OD green handle scales. All right, did that a long time ago. Gave it to her. It was kind of like the Halloween knife. We had a Halloween, themed lanyard on there with orange and black and a little skull bead and stuff. But anyway, I decided to use this as a candidate for this clip. Now, because of the deep conceal clip, the lanyard that was on here wasn't able to easily hang out of the pocket. It would either stick straight up, which looked dumb. There's no other way to put it, just looked dumb. Or if it was inside the pocket, it served no purpose. So I took off the lanyard as soon as I started carrying this and realized that. And it's been a few days, and this is fantastic. And I'm happy to say that the Lynch clip, in this case, works out perfectly, all right? So I kind of felt like on the mini grip, because it was so uncomfortable, I mean, I definitely wanted to try it on larger knives, and I thought I'd do a variety of different knives, and I might still do that in the future. But at least on this one, it's been fantastic. There's no problem with it whatsoever. I feel the clip in the hand, but it's very comfortably rested against my palm. Okay, I don't feel any hot spots at all, even in using the knife. There's no issue because the placement is just a different spot. So here's a closer shot of this. You can see how this clip carries on this knife. Plenty of room on the front there to overcome the pants material. This is a pretty smooth surface, even though we have texture in here. It's rounded, smooth plastic. Perfect tension on this as well, so no issues with it getting in and out of the pocket. Carries very nicely. I do like the deep concealed clip. All right, now this happens to have a black blade and black hardware, even though our axis lock is stainless. I mean, it fits okay, but I prefer probably a black one on here. But yeah, I mean, on a full-size knife like this, it worked out beautifully. I had no issues whatsoever. I mean, it was just great to carry, and more importantly, great to use. No hot spots at all. Cut up two, medium-sized cardboard boxes, maybe, slicing for a total of 3 minutes, maybe. But no issues there at all. So I didn't do like, hardcore cutting with it. But with that, there was no issue. And as far as carry, it does carry a little nicer than the original pocket clip on this particular knife. So yeah, this definitely is a pretty cool pocket clip, but it's kind of obvious to some people, but I wanted to test it out to make sure. It really just depends on what knife you throw it on, all right? A larger pocket clip like this obviously does stick out, all right? So on that smaller knife, it was just too much. The way it landed in my hand, it turned out to be very uncomfortable, but on the full-size Griptilian, it works beautifully. All right, so I want you guys to post in the comments again. I know a lot of people talked about different brands and different knife models and stuff, but if you do rock these aftermarket deep conceal clips, let everyone know in the comments what clip it is, specifically what model, and what knife it's on. That's even more important than, yeah, I like those clips. Well, what knife do you have it on? Right, because it does make a huge difference. This is totally fine. All right, if I first got this, I would say, yeah, the Lynch clip's great, but I didn't. I had it on the mini grip first. That was from the previous owner. They decided to put it on that beautiful mini Griptilian, but for me, it just didn't work out from a functional standpoint. But you know what? People have different size hands too. For that person's hands, maybe it was fine. For mine, it just did not work out. So when it comes to comfort on things, you have to take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt there, because one person can make a video and say, yeah, that's uncomfortable, but for you, it's great. That goes across the board. I've touched upon that in the past a couple times, but some people, obviously don't see all the videos. It is very important to realize that, just because I say something's uncomfortable, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be comfortable for you. And vice versa. If I say, wow, this is fantastic, but you have a very small hand or a much larger hand than mine, it might be completely different for you. Okay, so just keep those things in consideration, when watching the videos and stuff. But yeah, this is a total win in this case for the Lynch Clips. I do like it on this full-size knife. So in the future, I may try it, you know, here and there on some other knives, and just see how it works out with different designs. But I do like the deep conceal option. It's just nice. The knife is just slightly more secure. I've never had a pocket knife fall out of my pocket. You know, sometimes it'll get jerked around, like if it gets clipped on something. This happens often where your knife is clipped on your pants. And actually, I was literally just talking to someone yesterday. It was a mechanic. We were having Christina's car looked at. She has, not totally get off subject here, but she has a small exhaust leak, and dropped it off at the mechanics. And the mechanic is like, oh yeah, I remember you, you're the knife guy, because I have my neck knife, right? Super nice guy, and his name is Chris. And he went off, I mean, I'm there to talk about car stuff, and we talked about knives for about 10 minutes. But he was saying that you know, of course I'm the knife guy, right? So he had to whip out his knife, he had a little CRKT on him. And he was telling me that he had a different model last year. He was up in his attic and he was doing something, and the pocket clip must have grabbed onto a wire, okay, a loose wire that was hanging, whatever. He couldn't find his knife for like a year. And then he was back in the attic to do something, I don't know, put away Christmas decorations or something like that. And he saw it hanging there. It was literally hanging on the wire. All right, so I'm glad he found his knife and stuff. But it's a perfect example of, you know, a situation where you could lose your knife because of your pocket clip. Now, I've never had it happen. I've had, again, my knives being tugged by things. I've had pocket clips just stretched out because it grabbed onto maybe a seatbelt in the car or something. So I had a lot of those situations, but knock on wood, I have never lost a knife yet. But I know people who do, and that's a great example. You know, I'm glad he found it, but that could have happened, you know, at a store or something, never to be seen again. And I occasionally hear stories of people finding knives in parking lots for the same reason. Maybe you're taking, I don't know, a receipt or something out of your pocket or your wallet or whatever the case is, and you just bump your knife and it just falls out. If you don't hear it and you don't feel it while you're doing that, then obviously it's lost. So not only tell me if you're into these deep concealed pocket clips, but I love to hear those quick little stories down below on lost knives. Have you ever lost a knife, and do you think it's because the pocket clip grabbed something? I don't know. It happens. It definitely happens. But anyway, that's it for now. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.